Nothing quite as inviting on a chilly autumn evening as your local watering hole, is there? The tourists are gone, the atmosphere is relaxed, and there's nothing to do but contemplate the universe and the amber liquid within the glass before you. That's exactly what our friend Rob is doing right now. See him there, by himself at the end of the bar, his John Deere cap half falling off as he rests his head amongst the impressive collection of empties surrounding him. The only other soul in the place is Carl the bartender, who's finally decided to say something to his best customer.
Hey there. Come on now, Rob. We got to get you up.
Yeah, give me a beer.
No more for you tonight. Come on.
Look, how about one more?
Nope.
I know my tab's kind of high.
Well, it ain't the tab. I don't want you out on the roads this way. You're going to kill... Well, you shouldn't be driving, that's all.
Yeah. Well, how about I leave the truck here? I'll walk home.
Sure, that's good thinking.
Well, since that's settled, another one.
No, Rob, you've had enough.
Think I don't know that?
Geez, Rob,
It's Friday night. I'm celebrating.
Well, it's Tuesday.
Come on, Carl. Ain't no one in the place but you and me. You can't tell me business been so good you'd turn me down. Got no reason to turn me down.
Well, all right, as far as that goes, the tab is pretty high.
Then perhaps I could help.
Oh, Christ, scared me to death. Where'd you come from?
I'm sorry.
We're very light on our feet.
God, another one.
Relax, Rob, just two of the guests from the motel across the street.
Good evening, Carl.
Evening.
2 glasses of red wine, please. And another one for our friend here.
All I got for wine is the cheap stuff comes in a box. Probably not up to your standards.
Oh, we're not picky about what we drink. We just want to be friendly.
That's right.
Since we understand our friend here is the famous Robert Peterson, yes?
Do I know you?
That's right. Introductions are in order. I am called Trey, and this is my wife, Lilith.
Hello.
You say Trey?
We're spending some time in your fair village, and we understood that you, Robert, are quite a fishing guide.
You trying to be funny?
No, not at all. You do guide this lake, do you not?
Of course I guide. Been working on this lake since high school.
Excellent. We'd like to hire your services.
Tomorrow, if possible.
Yes, would you be available tomorrow evening, say after 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock? It'll already be dark by then.
Is it?
Yeah, hardly anything will be biting.
Do you hear that, my dear? Nothing will be biting.
I still want to go. It'll be a full moon and a clear night. Should be beautiful on the lake.
Ah, there you are. Bites or no bites, the little lady wants to go fishing. Unless you're not available, of course.
No, I'm available.
Say, Rob...
You stay out of this. You want your tab, right?
Well, then it's settled. Where do we meet?
Out here at the landing. I'll bring the boat around. You two wait on the dock.
See you at 8.
Yeah.
Say, folks, can I talk to you a minute?
Of course, Carl. What is it?
Well, it's about Rob there. You probably want to get yourself another guide.
Oh?
Yeah, I got some business cards around here somewhere. Guys have left. There's a lot of good guides around.
What's wrong with Rob?
Nothing. Well, okay, he's had a rough time of late. Been a little too good of a customer of mine, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that doesn't matter to us.
No.
No, we weren't really interested in fishing.
Yeah, I kind of figured. You don't exactly look like the type. You're one of them others, aren't you?
What do you mean exactly?
You want Rob to take you to the cabin.
A cabin? What cabin?
You know what I'm talking about. That cabin where it all happened 15 years ago. The murders. Don't you know Rob is the one that found him?
Of course we know. Why do you think we sought him out?
Well, he ain't been right in the head since that night. You can't ask him to go back there. You just can't. Look, I'll show you where the island is on the charts. I'll even loan you a boat. You can go get your jollies at the Devil's Rest all you want, but don't ask Rob to go with you. I don't think his mind could take it.
Did you hear that, dear? The Devil's Rest. They call it the Devil's Rest. Adorable.
Well, everyone calls it that. Newspaper guy from Duluth gave it that name and it just stuck.
Do you know the story, Carl? Do you know what happened in that cabin 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Then you know why it has to be Robert who guides us. And if you know what's good for you, you won't interfere.
Well, now, I don't know very much that I like the sound. What? God almighty, where'd they go? They were right here. It's got to be permanent this time.
Life jackets are under the seat there. We'll get out to the channel and open her up a bit.
That sounds fine.
A couple of spots where walleyes like to bed down. Like I said yesterday, though, they ain't gonna be biting this time of day.
That's all right. How are you feeling tonight, Rob?
Fine. I haven't had a drink, if that's what you're worried about.
Oh, no. We trust you completely.
All right.
Something wrong, Rob.
Yeah, we gotta have this out. You ain't here to fish, are you?
No.
Two of those people, them, what do you call it? True crime enthusiasts.
We never said anything like that.
Didn't need to. Carl and I had a chat this morning.
Heavens, darling, we've been found out.
Look, I appreciate the business, and I appreciate you paying your fee up top.
Plus a hefty tip.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but I expect you to be square with me. I'm square with folks, so I expect them to be square with me.
Meaning what?
Just tell me exactly what is it you want me to do.
Fine. As long as we're being square, as you call it, we want you to take us to the cabin.
The what now?
You know, the Devil's Rest.
Well, ain't hardly anything left of it.
We don't care. We just want to feel the energy of the place, become a part of the story.
Well,
Oh, and speaking of stories,
Oh, yes,
we want you to tell it to us.
what do you mean?
the story. We want to hear it from you.
Oh, I don't remember it.
We'll pay. We understand this isn't quite what you signed up for.
And I'm sure it's very dramatic.
Oh, yes, so we'll pay. Handsomely.
Well, wouldn't you rather just read one of the books about it? A couple of good ones.
Read them all. We want your version.
From the man who was there.
Yeah? Pay handsomely, you said?
Of course.
All right, then, let's go.
Well then, things have taken an interesting turn for our friend Rob, haven't they? He has a dark secret that the mysterious couple Trey and Lilith are willing to pay for to learn all about some place called the Devil's Rest. It's about a half hour later now, as the boat motors toward a tiny island in a remote part of the lake. About 10 yards out from a dilapidated and crumbling dock, Rob, still at the helm, cuts the engine and turns to his passengers.
Is that it?
I don't see the cabin.
It's through the trees a little ways. Brush is really thick here. Can't hardly see 10 feet from shore.
Well then, you've brought us here.
Yeah, just like you wanted.
Go ahead, Rob. It's all right.
We won't tell anyone you told us the story.
No, of course not.
You know, the night was kind of like this. Only it weren't October, it was August. Late in the month. Already kind of feeling like fall. I was guiding these two fellows from Iowa. Come up for a week. Real nice guys, good tippers. Just a couple average Joes, you know. They didn't deserve what happened to them.
What did happen to them, Robert?
We were fishing up by Gold Bar Landing, about 3/4 of a mile east of here. Real good day. I think we had 5 or 6 walleyes, not counting the 4 in the slot we threw back. A dozen sunnies. One of the guys even got a smallmouth bass. Real good day. So we're out here till near dark. I wanted to come in, but the guys were eager. It was their last day of vacation. They wanted to squeeze in every last bit of fishing. Finally, they agreed to go in. We head back down this very channel. It's close to dark when we come alongside the island. That's when we heard it.
Heard what, Robert?
The screaming. I didn't at first. One of the guys, Tom I think his name was, he flagged me down and had me cut the engine. Said he heard something, so we sat a minute and listened. That's when we heard the girl scream. She didn't sound more than a teenager, and there weren't no playful giggle scream like a girl would do with her boyfriend, no. This scream had the hair on my neck straight up. That girl was in trouble. I said we should go back, call the cops. Weren't no cell service on the lake then. My radio was busted. Didn't have any way to call for help out here. But the guys, they were set on playing hero. I tried to talk them out of it, said we don't know what we're getting into, but they insisted. It was in the Iowa National Guard, you see, so they thought they could handle it. Like I said, good guys.
What happened then, Robert?
Well, we put into the dock there, found a path that cut into the woods, and maybe 20-30 yards in we found the cabin. It was fallen down, must have been 100 years old. Probably built by one of the first prospectors, but we heard a lot of voices inside. But there weren't no more screams. So we snuck up to a window. One of the guys peeks in and turns white as a sheet. We heard a lot of yelling inside then. They'd seen us. I turned tail and ran just as
Just as what, Robert?
one of them come out the door. He was all dressed up, wearing a robe like a monk. The hood was up so you couldn't see his face. He had his amulet on. Pentagram, upside down star.
It's true then. They were Satanists.
I didn't stick around to find out. I run for the boat, get aboard, and cast off. Then I'm looking back for the guys. I waited and waited, and the screaming started again. That was the worst part. The screaming started, and the guys, they didn't come. I waited till I couldn't no more, then I took off. Sheriff came back with me, and we found the cabin empty. By daylight, the state police, border patrol, heck, even the Ontario Provincial Police were here on account of the island being so close to Canada. I went over the whole place with a fine-tooth comb.
And what did they find, Rob?
Blood. The place was practically painted with it. No people, though. Hardly any evidence of them besides footprints. No sign of the boys from Iowa. Later, they identified some of the blood as belonging to them. Some of it belonged to this runaway girl from Montreal. Probably who we heard screaming. And some of the blood weren't even human. They never did find any bodies. I imagine you know the rest. News played it up big for a while. I even got interviewed on Good Morning America. I thought that might help, but it didn't. It just made them worse.
Made what worse, Rob?
The dreams.
You have nightmares about that night, Rob?
Nightmares? Yeah, I guess. So, would you two like to go up and see the cabin? See, told you, nothing much left.
Oh, I don't know. The energy of the place alone is worth the trip.
Mm-hmm. Can you feel that?
Yes, it's like coming home again.
So I brung you to the cabin. It ain't getting any lighter out. Not yet, anyway. We should,
We should what, Robert?
we should be getting back.
No, We just got here.
Yeah, well, as you can plainly see, there ain't nothing here.
What makes you so sure?
Huh?
What makes you so sure there's nothing here, Robert?
Well, I got eyes, don't I?
Yes, but your eyes aren't good enough.
What?
Your eyes. They aren't good enough. I mean, I can't expect you to remember Lilith. You never saw her that night.
What?
But me? I thought you'd at least remember your old friend.
What are you talking about? I never seen you before last night.
Well, admittedly, I have changed a lot over 15 years.
Grown more handsome, maybe.
And you are as lovely as the October moon.
Flatterer.
You didn't look very good that night, though.
Well, I wasn't at my best.
What are you two yammering about? I mean, sorry, but I don't
Quite all right, Robert. I completely understand your confusion. You've been distracted, and I took pains to stay out of your direct line of sight until now. I'm not surprised you never got a good look at me. Look into my eyes, Robert. What do you see?
No.
Recognize me yet?
No.
I'm a little paler and a little more slender than I was. But eyes don't lie, Robert. They're the window to the soul.
Even when you don't have one.
I don't understand it. It's you. You was one of them guys from Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
But it weren't Trey. It was Tom. Yeah, that was it. Your buddy called you Tommy.
Mm-hmm. My good friend, Brian. He was here that night with me when we rushed into this cabin so hastily. We were given a choice, he and I. We could either join the party or become dessert. Guess which one he chose.
It can't be.
If you think that's mind-blowing, ask fair Lilith what she was doing that evening.
Well, Trey, if you were the dessert, would that have made me the main course?
I don't understand.
The screams we heard, Robert? There was a girl, a teenage runaway from Montreal. She was here that night. Tied to a spot on the wall, right over there. Right, dear?
Such memories.
She was given a choice, too.
I don't get this. I don't get it at all.
No?
You've changed, you two, but you haven't aged. And Trey, or whatever your name is, I heard you die.
No, that was Brian, the sniveling little worm.
It was over 10 years ago, and you ain't even...
Aged? Well, that's a funny thing, Robert. You see, people always put Satanists in one category, and vampires in another.
What?
One is supposed to be a misguided religious fanatic, and the other a creature from fantasy. They really should do their research before jumping to that conclusion. You see, we do worship the Dark Lord, and in return he gives us so many things.
Unlimited time on Earth,
A whole plethora of talents related to the hunt,
including a certain charisma that I'm sure you've noticed.
not to mention a greatly simplified diet.
You're crazy.
Yes, welcome to the madhouse, Rob.
Don't worry, your stay won't be long.
I need a drink.
If you have one, go ahead.
He came with a flask. That's what I call being prepared.
Quite the Boy Scout. Now, Robert, let's have a little talk.
Ironic, isn't it? Friend Robert was haunted by that night 15 years ago, haunted by the fact that he didn't help his two clients or the girl he heard screaming. But our story still has one act yet to play and a few surprises still in store. It is a few minutes later now. Trey and Lilith have donned black robes and lit a fire in the middle of the ruined cabin called the Devil's Rest. Robert stands pinned to a wall, his feet already bound. His hands still free hold his flask with shaking fingers as he drinks like a condemned man.
You should lay off that stuff, Robert. It'll kill you.
Here now, give it to me.
No, wait.
Robert,
Oh.
you're being difficult. And you're drinking too much. We need you awake. And we need to bind your hands now.
You don't have to do that. I won't fight.
Oh, we know. But it's part of the ritual. I am sorry, Robert, but it's not much longer now.
What are you gonna do?
We are going to complete what wasn't completed 15 years ago. Our presence here is a kind of penance, you see. Our order insisted on it.
Your what?
Our order. The one both of us joined 15 years ago.
As novices, of course.
Of course.
This is part of the final ritual of membership. Our initiation, so to speak.
And a chance for the Order to dispose of the final witness from that night. You witnessed something no mortal should, Robert. No mortal could witness it and live.
I didn't see nothing. I never went in the cabin.
It doesn't matter, I'm afraid.
I didn't tell anybody what I saw.
You told them enough.
What are you gonna do?
Close the circle, Robert. Prove to our master that we are loyal. And tie up a very annoying loose end.
And, of course, feed. Which we haven't done for so very, very long.
Not really, anyway.
Ugh. Blood banks and volunteer donors just aren't the same.
I know.
Gonna turn me into one of you?
No. You, unfortunately, can't have the same options we had that night.
I thought if you got bit,
A common misconception. But we'll drain you, dear. We'll drink our fill, then spill the rest on this cursed ground. You won't survive.
You can't. You just can't.
We can. And now...
We will. Trey!
I know. Something is wrong.
What's happening?
I don't know.
Trey! I can't feel my legs.
Oh, God. Lilith, I'm blind.
Trey!
Rob, are they...
Yeah, it's working.
Who's there?
It's that bartender. It's a trap.
Rob, are you going to be all right?
Finish it, Carl. Like we planned.
Trey, he's got stakes.
What? Where is he?
Trey!
Alright, now do her.
Who are you people? What did you do?
Oh, it was Rob's idea. It was all his idea. Ever since that night in this cabin, Rob's been tormented. He hadn't slept much at all, but he didn't let his time go to waste. He researched your kind. He found out you can't be killed but one way, but you can be weakened, you can be knocked out. That flask is full of a potion we found out somewhere up in the Carpathians. It's a potion humans can stomach, but your kind sure can't. Knocks you low for long enough to finish the job. Poison the bloodsucker. Weaken him, then it's a stake through the heart.
The Order has money. Power. We can give you anything.
Can you keep my friend from turning now that you fed on him?
Well, there must be a way. We can...
Carl!
I know.
Wait! Don't! I'm not ready!
It's done.
Not yet, it ain't.
No, Rob, no.
You got to, Carl. I can feel him on my neck still. feel it spreading from where they bit. I'm feeling different already. 10, 20 minutes, I'll be all in your neck and we'll all start over again.
Rob, I don't think I can.
Don't think. Just do it. Please. We planned on this. Brought 3 stakes, remember? 3. This was always part of it. Please, Carl, don't let me become one of them things.
Just look away, would you please? And talk about something. Just talk. Anything.
Sure. I get it. You know, I don't know why I didn't just quit. You know what I should have done, Carl?
What's that, Rob?
Should give it up and head down south. Get a trailer in Texas or something. Costs next to nothing.
Yeah?
Yeah, just a little place. Maybe a little pond nearby in case I get the itch to fish again.
That sounds real nice.
Yeah, it does. In the winters, well, we know they'd be a heck of a lot warmer, right?
Well, it's tough to tell who is the bait and who is the fish in our little tale, isn't it? Just be glad that Carl kept his nerve and his word, and everything worked out perfectly. Oh, except for Carl, who now has to explain 3 dead bodies with stakes driven through their hearts. But details. This concludes this story of the Winter Warlock. You may return to your own world now, but be sure to mind the lake shore. The drop-off is steep, and you wouldn't want to fall through the ice this time of year. Catch your death. Until next time, wrap yourself up tight, children. It's cold outside.